In this PowerPoint presentation, we would be discussing how to compute measures of central tendency in SPSS. These measures are mainly used for with interval or ratio scale. The central tendency is the extent to which all the data values group around a typical or central value. The tendency of the observations to concentrate around a central point is known as central tendency. It is also known as measure of central tendency or measure of central value or measure of location. Generally, there are two main objectives of a study of these averages. The first one is to get out one single value that explains the characteristics of the entire data set. And second is to facilitate comparison. The first and most widely used measure of central tendency is mean. The most popular and widely used measure for representing the entire data by one value. This is also called as average. Its value is obtained by adding together all the observations and by dividing this total by number of observations. Second is median. The median is the measure of central tendency which appears in the middle of an ordered sequence of values. The median is called as positional average, and therefore half of the observations in a set of data are lower than it and half of the observations are greater than it. The third one is mode. It is defined as a value which occurs maximum number of times having the maximum frequency. It represents a majority of total population. And hence, when a distribution in which the value of mean, median and mode coincide is known as symmetrical distribution. Whereas the value of mean, median and mode, when they are not equal, the distribution is known as asymmetrical or skewed. Now there are various types of measures through which you can calculate descriptive statistics in SPSS. Depending on the level of the data. There are 4 in number. First, for simple description of nominal or level variable group, use frequencies. For more complex description of nominal level variables, you can use crosstabs. For simple description of interval or ratio level variable, you can use descriptives command. For more complex description of interval or ratio level variable, then you can use explore command. So generally crosstabs are used when you go for correlation analysis or regression analysis, and there along with the correlation coefficient, descriptive statistics are also displayed. So let us try how to compute these things in SPSS. First go to the file. Let's go to analyze, then to descriptive statistics. You can see the options are listed here in descriptive statistics. First is frequencies, second is descriptives, third is explore, and fourth is crosstab. Crosstabs we will also use when we find correlation in unit 4. So here we would be concentrating on these 3. Let us start with frequencies. Now in frequencies, the variables on which you want to compute measures of central tendency, post it into this variable box using this arrow button. So let us transfer these variables in variable box and then click to statistics. Now you will find these 4 options. You can click to the measures of central tendency as mean, median, mode in check boxes by clicking to the check boxes like this, and then click to continue. You can also select or deselect display frequency table. If you will select, then frequency table for academic index, writing and reading hour would be displayed. So in this file we would be finding out that what is the measures of central tendency for reading hours, that how much time faculty is contributing, writing hours, and academic interest, that is their level of performance. These writing hours can be the writing research papers or any academic enrichment activities like exercises like unit, chapters, book, etc. Reading hours is reading their subject knowledge and the latest concepts, and academic index is their performance, overall performance. So, and a stream reflects the background of the faculty member. So, now click to OK. In output viewer, you can see like this that in under the head frequencies, the first table would be statistics. So you can see that 201 number of respondents are there. There is no missing value. Mean for reading hours is 52. That is, on an average, 52 hours are being contributed by the faculty members in reading. Again, 52 hours are being on an average are given for writing, and the academic index is 172. Mode, that is, for generally 47 hours are contributed by faculty members in reading hours, and 59 writing hours are generally contributed in writing for academic enrichment by faculty members. And academic interest index for most of the faculty members is 200. Now you can see this frequency table also. So this frequency table for would be generated for reading hours, for writing hours, as well as for academic index. So you can see that 28 reading hours are being contributed by a single faculty, 31 by single faculty, and 34 by 6 faculty. So you can see that these frequencies would be displayed for academic index and writing. For example, 31 hours are being contributed by 4 faculty members, or you can say that like 40 hours are contributed by 3 faculty members. So on so forth, you can discuss academic index also. So you can see that highest, that is 200 academic interest index are for 17 faculty members. So this is the output which is generated by using frequencies command in descriptive statistics. Now let us try the other option, that is using descriptives. So in descriptives, you can see that a dialog box would appear when you will click descriptives. Transfer these variables on which you want to compute measures of central tendency. In variables, using arrow key, go to options, click the one you want to compute, like mean. We want to have sum also for the minimum, maximum, and standard deviation. For that, the other options are also available for computing kurtosis and skewness, but let us here talk about measures of central tendency. Click continue in sub dialog box and click OK. Now you can see that in output, under the head descriptive command, a table will be generated, only one single table, which will define the entire measure of central tendency for these 3 variables. For reading hours, the total respondents were 201. Minimum hours contributed were 28, maximum 76, and sum is 10,514. Mean, that is average reading hours of faculty member are 52, and average writing hour is 52. Academic index is on an average 172 academic index is there. Minimum is 138 and maximum is 200. Valid, all the cases are valid. So 10 is the standard deviation for reading hours from the average, 9 for writing hours, and 16 for academic index. So this we compute using descriptive. But there is one more option in descriptive. Let us try that also. Once you click to descriptives, after clicking to the options like mean, sum, standard deviation, minimum, maximum, click continue, and then you click Now click to save standardized values as variables. This is a checkbox in which you have to click to save the standardized z-score for further computation. So now you can see in the file itself, 3 items would be generated as Z reading, Z writing and Z academic index. So Z score for further computation are used like for interaction terms in multiple regression or in comparing samples from different population. The positive signs indicate that the observed value falls above the mean. The negative sign mean that it falls higher than the mean. That is, whether, let's suppose this Z reading for for the first faculty member having an ID 1 have performed lower than the average. However, faculty ID member 31 have performed better than the average. So if Z score is equal to 1, it is 1 standard deviation above the mean. So in this case it's 0.26163 away from the mean. So this is Z reading, Z writing hours and Z academic index. Now let us compute using explore command. Now first click to explore. A dialog box will appear. Now there are 3 options: dependent list, factor list and label cases by. So let's suppose you want to find out that academic interest depends upon reading hour and writing hours of the faculty members. So transfer this academic index in dependent list and writing hours in independent or factor list and reading hour again in factor list, and you sort by using ID. So label cases by ID. Now go to statistics. A sum dialog box will open. Click descriptives and you can mention the confidence interval for mean also. Then click continue in this sub dialog box. Now here you want to display, let's suppose, statistics as well as plot. So click both, in which statistics as well as plot would be displayed. Otherwise, if you will click to statistics, so only statistics option would be available. So let us go for both option and now click OK. So in output under explore command, this type of output would be generated. So the output comprises a title explored followed by 3 tables and plots. The table are case processing summary, then descriptives, and then test of normality using stem and leaf plots, and box plot are also available. You can see this in output. The case processing summary table here shows the number of cases analyzed and number of missing value and the total number of cases. So here we can see that there is no missing values. The descriptive table gives information about various summary measures like mean, median, variance, standard deviation, minimum, maximum, range, interquartile range, skewness, kurtosis. These tables contain a statistic called 5% trimmed mean. Now what it is, this is actually useful when we talk about outliers, that is extreme values in the sample. So this trim 5% mean exclude top 5% as well as bottom 5% observations which are likely to be outliers before calculating the mean. So mean is actually not appropriate measure of central tendency when there are many outliers in the sample, and generally we use in that case median. So therefore in this trim mean is also available. So the mean calculated by excluding these observations is likely to be more close to the population mean. So the text of normality table present the statistics also and using plots which will also determine outliers.